Hey, welcome to my podcast, Cold Narratives. I'm your host, Iceberg Green. About to let y'all hear some of these cold narratives. Check it out. Okay, so if you guys didn't know, they gave out reparations in Oakland to the lonely people. I guess it's Sequoia Park. It's overlooking Oakland. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that. I'm not too familiar with it. Definitely going to get familiar with it now. But what they did, they gave the land, over 5 acres, to natives who got their land took from them. And this is their form of reparation. They got it. This is happening. It did happen. And I'm just wondering what's taking so long for us. Being that they're willing to just do this to my community, and that's the first thing that this mayor did when she got in office is to take care of the natives, which, like I said, I don't knock that. But Oakland is a black community, foremost. And I would think that she would get in office and look out for the people that are undermined the most. And that's not what she did. This is what she did.
Indigenous group the right to use 5 acres of parkland for natural resource restoration, cultural practices, and public education. The land is called Sequoia Point. It sits above the Sequoia Bayview Trail, one of the busiest trails in Oakland's Joaquin Miller Park. Oakland is the first city in California to use city-owned property as reparations for European settlers stealing Native American territories. City leaders and an indigenous nonprofit announced the land grant to the East Bay Ohlone tribe.
This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And I truly believe that it was your ancestors who led your daughters to this beautiful site. This perfect site that overlooks the city of Oakland. This perfect site that where you can build culture and community and educate not just the city, but others that will be flocking to this space to learn about those who lived on this beautiful land first.
The tribal chairperson and co-founder of the Land Trust, Karina Gould, says the trust hopes to open a cultural resource center at the site in the future.
Okay, I get it. I definitely get it. I understand why the natives are getting reparations. I understand that their land was taken from them. I understand all that. What I don't understand is how us as a people were put here in bondage. Um, a lot of things were taken from us, from Black Wall Street, from being able to read and write. All these laws were put in place specifically for us. I understand that the indigenous people, the natives, got their land took from them, but they also got on board once it was took and started abiding by those laws and policies they created to suppress and to keep black people down. They participated in that as well. So with that being said, there's a debt owed to us, you guys. They've taken things from us. They've stolen things from us. And these are facts. It's in the books that you read. It's in the history books. That's why they're trying to alleviate that. But for them to do this in Oakland, man, I'm born and bred in Oakland, been there my whole life. And I've seen people struggle from the time I was coming up and miss opportunities because of miseducation or just lack thereof education. Okay, you guys, this is in San Diego. This is the Task Force for Reparations. They're in San Diego now. They were in Oakland, so they're traveling across the state of California, gathering data, on behalf of African Americans descendant of slaves, so check this out. This sister, like I said, is moving mountains for us.
First, welcome. Thank you, City of San Diego. I know we have a hard stop at 5 p.m., so I would like to take the time now to thank City Council member and Task Force member Monica Montgomery Stepp for hosting us. This is a great turnout. So now we will go to item number 18, which is public comment. And I know there was a list of folks.
Okay, so here go a few brothers and sisters from the San Diego area. They spoke at the reparations task force meeting. This is how they feel about reparations and the impact it would have on the black community if given to us. Here you go. Check it out.
Good morning. Next speaker.
Thank you very much. Chris Lawson, just one of the lead organizers with the Coalition for Just and Equitable California. I have had the pleasure of meeting with, I think, almost every single one of you, so I'm not going to speak for too long. But I want to say a couple of things. First, I want to speak to you, and then I also want to speak to the folks behind me too, and the folks that are watching publicly. First thing to you, I want to thank you, each and every single one of you, for your time, for your sacrifice. I know this is tough work. This is God's work. You're putting in time, hours for zero pay, and this is hard. And you're doing something that's never been done before. Each one of you, there's never been somebody like you in the position that you're in, because we've never done something like this before. So I want to appreciate each and every single one of you for every single, right, definitely. Show them some love. Show them some love. Secondly, to the everybody, as James Brown said, we're in a very critical and crucial time right now for the reparations movement. A very sensitive time. There are powerful forces organizing right now to stop what we're gonna do. Now is the time to be working together, to be loving on each other, to be connecting with each other, and not tearing each other apart. Now is the time to work together. Last thing I'll say is thank you for voting for lineage-based reparations eligibility. Please do more, right on. Please do more for reparations to combat reparations misinformation. I want to also thank you again for acknowledging us as a specific group of people, those who descend from U.S. slavery. The Office of Management and Budget with the U.S. Census just yesterday or just last week released their initial proposals for how they might change the 2030 U.S. Census. And they said, one of their first things they said is disaggregate the Black/African American category and create a specific place and a specific space for those who descend from U.S. slavery. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Well, I yesterday when we public comment got cut off, I thought it was really fitting that my elder came on and he mentioned how he was enslaved in the South and he was in his 80s, and here I am, I'm in my 30s, and I was enslaved in the California Department of Corrections. So we see generational trauma via mass incarceration, chattel slavery, tomato. As we know, America is one of the wealthiest nations in the world. And as we also know, a large percentage of that wealth can be traced to the profits made off of slave labor. And even some of the most prestigious universities, even this one that I'm actually a graduate student at right now, has benefited from anti-Black racism. And San Diego State, as much as I enjoy and love this school, they still perpetuate a certain level of anti-Black racism. And as we also know, America has a huge problem with criminal justice, mass incarceration. Anybody that commits a crime is mandated to pay restitution. Anybody that's been convicted of a crime, even if you have no victims, they're going to mandate restitution on you because of your crime that was committed against the people. And our people have had major crimes committed against us. We're due reparations, and what we want is wealth. And how I define wealth is that which money cannot buy and which man cannot confiscate. Which money can't buy and man can't confiscate. Good health, generational wealth, knowledge in the form of good quality education. A payout is a good place to start, but it's not the generation of true wealth. So I just want to say that we should be expanding our thoughts of how reparation looks and how this payment is allocated. Thank you very much for your time.
Good morning, I'm Friday Jones. My name is Consa Jones Muhammad. Chris Lodson is really my brother in arms. I don't know what he had last night, but I'm on the same vibe. You all are doing historic work. You are doing unprecedented work. The world has never seen this before. The report that you issued and the timeliness in which you got it published and out is phenomenal. You all have been phenomenal. In the reparations space, there are generational differences in opinion on how this is supposed to go. You have, like Martin Luther King, one of the youngest revolutionary reparationists leading this task force. You all, in the generations of your walk, the time that you have been on this earth, have to support her, and you all have to support each other. You all have work to do, and we as a community, this descendant community, we are counting on you. We are facing zero wealth in 2053, and COVID has made that timeline shorter. We respect you. We appreciate you. May God bless you so that you can see us to the end of this work. Thank you so much for my time.
Thank you, Ms. Jones.
Something that's releasing our prisoners so we can have our own staff there, so we can rehabilitate them ourselves, because that's one of the part of the reparations is to rehabilitate. Here in California, we have RAM, Rise Up, or whatever. Those guys exist. We got all these white militia groups here, and how are we gonna feel safe? They're already doing this. They did this in Buffalo. A young guy shot 10 people. They were just going to the grocery store. So how are we gonna feel safe once we get all this money? I see how we gonna be. I tell you how we're gonna be real safe. We're gonna be like the natives. We want our own land. Y'all want to live with the white people? You can live with them. But I want to go back to my hood and live with all black people. Recycle my money for 30 days. You know, recycle, and not just no. We don't want just no casinos. We have 75 Black Wall Streets. We can do it. Just give us the land. Y'all can figure the money out later.
In giving honor to Miss Dr. Shirley Weber for being the point person for why we are here today, bringing us AB 3121. Thank you, Shirley Weber, for doing that, Secretary of State. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention to Governor Gavin Newsom. Governor Gavin Newsom, there's an old saying in California, so goes California, so goes the nation. And so we understand that you're getting ready to run for the presidency, for the United States presidency. We as Black African Americans call it the United States of America. I don't know if you realize that it was the million women that got Joe Biden elected.
I'm speaking today on the limitations or the issues, with lineage. The lineage requirement as it currently exists, right, it doesn't necessarily exclude non-Black people who can trace their lineage. The lineage requirement also provides a challenge in tracing lineage that can be a really issue for some folks who are descendants, including people who've been impacted by foster care systems, people who have lost records due to national disasters and in other events like fires. And this places it makes it so that freedmen's bureaus cannot recreate these documents that have been destroyed in order to help people prove their lineage. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. But what we came up with, we need free health care, free psychological care based on the damage that was done by systemic racism, free land due for us being our labor has historically been lowballed and free, whereas we were stolen from our country where we probably would have had our own land and our own wealth. We feel that this state and the country need to give us land. Also, free education based on the standards of the Black Panther Party 10-point platform that show the true nature of our lives as far as who we were prior to coming here and the things that we built in this nation.
Okay, people. So I know this is probably a lot to grasp. A lot of people probably have mixed feelings about this. But the fact is, this is a debt that's owed to us. Like the brother said, we still pay restitution to the people if we commit a crime. And what they did was a crime. It was genocide in so many different ways. And it's a crime, committed against the people. So restitution is due, of course. And that falls along the line with reparations. So, I look forward to y'all keeping this movement going with the Black media. Shout out to Professor Black Truth, Tariq Nasheed, Lisa Cabrera, Philip Scott, Willie D Live. Shout out to y'all, man. And anybody that I missed part of the Black media, we would not exist without our Black folks. So keep it real.
Child of God, yeah. You picked me up when I fell down, all the way from the underground. Them cells kept me locked down. Oh, I can see hell now, but I ain't no cat. I see these niggas begging for the cheese. He must be a rat. Stay away from those, so I put that iron on my back. But I ain't trying to go to war. God take me on a tour. I'm dying to see them shores. I'm just like you. If you came from the struggle, this road ain't clear. Got a nigga vision blurry, but I wipe off my shade. Show God what he made, whether it's good or bad, man. I'm gon' pray. It's inevitable that we die, so we might as well try. So kick up your shoes and relax your mind. This Godway or the highway, my heart be an interstate. Got me praying at a dying rate. This pain I can't escape, so I really hope you're listening. The facade got me glistening. They say I'm hollow, but I'm missing it. I'm a child of God, I'm a survivor. I'll be your son and you'll be my provider. I'm a child of God, I'm a survivor. I'll be your son and you'll be my provider. I'm a child of God, I'm a survivor. I'll be your son and you'll be my provider. I'm a child of God, I'm a survivor. I'll be your son and you'll be my provider. Thank God that I don't have to steal or rob. I wake up every single